Hi everybody, it's Stephenie Fitt from fitbodies.com. I am so excited to see you today. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate your likes, your follows, your shares, your subscribing. It makes my heart happy, and I love your wonderful, beautiful comments. My life is better because of you, and thank you so much for your kind words. And questions, I've had some questions, and I'm going to address them in some of the upcoming videos. Today's video is all about my hair. I get a lot of comments and questions about my hair. Funny, but thank you for your kind comments. I get questions about how I manage to grow my hair and keep it healthy, and do I have any tips about growing your hair long? So for the wonderful ladies and gentlemen out there, I know I have some gentlemen friends and followers who are interested in growing their hair out, so don't want to leave you out. I've put together some of my favorite tips. It's not rocket science. Anybody can do this. Holy smokes, if I can do this, you can do this. So let me go through the list, and please like or comment below. Add anything that I don't cover. Please add it below so that we can all learn from you, and I do appreciate everything you have to share as well. So let's see. I've got my little stash here. First of all, you might be surprised to find out that I don't wash my hair every day. Some of you might think that's pretty gross. But one of my personal tricks is that I wash my hair 2 at the most 3 times a week. So I want to encourage the natural oils of my hair to distribute as I comb or brush my hair on those non-hair washing days. I distribute the oil down, and it helps keep my ends healthier. So washing the hair, conditions the scalp, but it dries out the ends, and that's the hardest part about growing out hair. As I look at myself in the camera, my hair's pretty scruffy right now, and that's my second tip is on days when you're just going to hang out. I'm in my sweats. It's a snowy day outside. I don't know if you can see out the windows, but it's practically blizzarding here in Colorado today. We really need the moisture, so this is fantastic. It's great news, and I didn't have to go anywhere today. It's a Sunday. I didn't have to go to work. I did go to hot yoga though. Oh my gosh, and it was packed. All these people, these crazy people, including me, navigating through the storm to get our hot yoga game on. Hot yoga, if I put conditioner on my hair and then I wrap it up in a bun and I do my hot yoga in that steamy hot environment, it conditions my hair, and then I come home and I wash it. It's one of the 2 or 3 days that I wash my hair is on hot yoga days. And then I try to air dry it. So I guess that's the point I was getting to, is on a day where you don't have to go out, you don't have to appear put together, air dry your hair. Now I do admit I did blow dry the roots, but I left the ends and the bangs alone. So you can see I'm kind of disheveled, but who cares, right? Whatever. I have no makeup on. Hello. Did you guys know, a little tidbit? Most of my videos, I have not a stitch of makeup on. What you see is what you get. Kind of scary sometimes, but whatever. Full transparency, right? So anyway, I don't have anywhere to go today, so I leave my hair alone, let it air dry. That keeps it healthy. Heat elements like blow dryers, curling irons, flat irons, and whatever are very damaging. Even with product on it to protect it, it's still very damaging. So as often as you can, just let it be. Let it go. Another tip is when I do put it back in buns and ponytails, I'm really careful that I don't rip it out. The front, especially here, gets really damaged from putting it back in ponytails, and then just when I pull out the ponytail, I just kind of, if I ripped it, it's really damaging, especially on these front pieces. So I try to be very gentle, and sometimes I need help to get it out. Seems kind of silly, but I just really want to protect these little layers here in front. Cutting your hair often, or trimming it. Cutting implies chopping, but what I mean is trimming the ends every 6 to 8 weeks, 8 weeks max, helps keep your hair healthier. And it seems kind of counterintuitive to trim it more to grow it longer, but it keeps the ends healthy, so it cuts off any splits. I don't know if you're familiar with split ends, but my hair can split. If my hair is this long, I can get splits up to here. Breakage in the hair, and then those splits break off, and then I've got this much to catch up. But if I trim the ends, trim every, 4 to 6 weeks, 8 weeks max. I guess I said 6 weeks max, but maybe I'll go to 8. That keeps it looking cleaner and fresher, and also keeps those split ends at a minimum and helps the breakage minimize, and I can keep it healthy. I don't brush my hair that often, and I got this tip a while ago, a few years back, from this gorgeous young lady at the front desk of 24 Hour Fitness where I teach. She had the most amazing, beautiful long hair. And so I guess I would say, if you see somebody who has beautiful hair, ask them their tips. And that's exactly what I did. What is your biggest tip you can give me? How do you get your hair like that? And she says she never, ever uses a hairbrush on her hair. She only uses a comb. And that makes a lot of sense, because with the brush, we do a lot of ripping and tearing, especially if you've got dry ends, or you color your hair and bleach your hair and the ends might be damaged from treatment. Ripping through it damages those ends. And so I suggest a wide tooth comb. This is very much used. You can see it broke off, but it doesn't matter because I don't use these skinny pieces. I just use the wide tooth and comb it through instead of using a brush. I do have a brush that I heard is recommended for long hair, and it's called the Tangle Teaser, T-E-E-Z-E-R. I don't know if you can see that. Tangle, you can't really. But it fits in your hand, and you can brush, and it's supposed to be, now I'm not an affiliate, I don't represent this company. All I can say is I hear that it's supposed to be really healthy for your hair to use this. So if I do brush my hair, I use this, and I use soft strokes. If my hair is tangled, I start at the very bottom. I take a bunch in my hand like this, and I start at the very bottom, get the tangles out, and then I work my way up, and I work my way up until I can go the whole way down. Nice and gentle. I never vigorously brush, and if I brush, I only brush the very minimal. So there are days, literally, that I don't brush my hair, and that might just seem gross or icky, but awesome hair can be done with just a comb and a little fluffing of your fingers, and healthy hair looks great without much, intervention. If I am going to look polished, if I do need to have that all put together look, I do use a curling iron. I'm not going to say never use curling irons or flat irons, but find the level of heat that is the lowest that your hair needs to get the curl that you're looking for, or the bend that you're looking for, or the flattening that you're looking for. So it might take some experimenting. Really try to avoid super hot. So I have mine set at about halfway. You can see the little thing is halfway. It could go a lot hotter, but I've found that my hair will respond to about half heat. So when I do use it, I only need to use the half heat, and so I expose my hair to minimal heat. Same with the hair dryer. I never use the hot setting. I only use the warm. And yes, I have a lot of hair, and it might take me longer to dry, but I focus on the roots. I tip my head upside down, and I blow dry the roots. And finger comb. Remember, we're trying to avoid as much use of brushes as possible. Now, to do my bangs, sometimes I'll use the brush, but I never use the, what is this called, a round brush? I never use the round brush on my ends, okay? Because I really want to pamper and protect that. And I feel like the round brush is damaging. When I go get my hair done, I love them to use a round brush. That's a treat. That's part of the experience, is getting the blowout and the beautiful hair. So I'm just talking about your daily routine. Let's see what else. Okay. I don't color my hair anymore. And some of you who have been following me for years know that I was diagnosed with breast cancer, gosh, almost 4 years ago. And at that point, I dove into learning all about why. I couldn't figure out why in the world. One of the things I learned in my research was that a lot of the products we put on our hair, we wash it with, a lot of the products we put on our bodies, the hair color that we put on our hair, the nail polish, the lotions, the creams, the cosmetics, all those things cause a boost in estrogen. They have estrogenic properties, or estrogen mimicking properties. And the last thing I wanted as a person fighting cancer, hormone-driven cancer, the last thing I wanted was more hormones in my body. So I stopped cold turkey bleaching my hair. I used to do the highlights, the the weaves. You guys, not with the cap, but the foils. Yeah, you guys are familiar with that. I used to do that, and I had beautiful blonde hair. I miss my blonde hair. Sometimes I look in the mirror, look at photos, and I go, oh my gosh, who is that lady? But I feel, personally, I feel safer and healthier not using hair color. So what you see is my natural color, kind of a dirty blonde, but I do have, and I'll post in the comments below, I do have another video. You can go search for how to get natural highlights. It does need to be sunny and warm out, which it definitely is not here in Colorado in the winter. So I'm not going to use that again until summer, but it does give you natural highlights with natural products without having to use the bleach and the chemicals and stuff. So I do have gray coming in. Can you see that? Ooh, I've got some gray. I'm embracing it. I'm embracing it. I'm embracing it. See how I'm talking to myself. I'm trying to convince myself. No, I am embracing it, but I do recognize that some of you have a lot of gray and you don't want that, or you're just not ready to embrace it. And I recognize, I honor and respect that. Never would I judge anybody else. And if hair color is something that that's not a battle you're willing to fight at this point, no judgment. You just do what you need to do to feel good about yourself. For me, I was ready to take that leap, and I've actually grown out. It's been almost 4 years, and the last of my blonde, look at that, the last. And my next trim, I'm just going to cut that off, and it'll be all virgin, untouched hair, chemically treated hair. So that's another trick. I talked about products that didn't have hormone disrupting chemicals, phthalates, estrogen mimickers and whatever. What you use to wash your hair with and condition and products to protect your hair, you want to make sure it's a brand and it's got ingredients that are, clean and don't have these, hormone mimicking ingredients. And so there's lots of brands out there. You want to go to ewg.org. E as in elephant, W as in water, and G as in girl, ewg.org. And I forget what it's called. I'll post that link in the comments as well. It used to be called one thing and now it's changed. Holy smokes, I'm drawing a blank. I use it all the time and I'm totally forgetting. But anyway, you can go to your phone even, and they have this app that you can go to compare and find brands that are best for your body and don't have those damaging chemicals in them. The brand that I found through word of mouth and through social media, and I'm happy with at this moment, but there's lots of brands out there. I don't represent this brand, so if you find a brand that works better for you, fantastic. But Monat, M-O-N-A-T, can you see that? Monat. I use their products. There's a couple other products I use as well, other brands, but you want to find a brand that, is safe. And also, I also feel strongly that they don't test on animals. It's vegan and all those other things as well. But you want to make sure that you're using products that are really gentle and good for your hair and good for your body and good for the environment. I use intense repair and deep conditioning, lots of moisturizing shampoos, especially on my ends. And I do shampoo my scalp and I bring it through my ends, but I'm careful not to vigorously rub. Again, I'm pampering this part of my hair because this is older and more fragile and more handled and more touched. And so I want to make sure that I'm more vigorous up here to stimulate my scalp and softer down here. And then I use a deep conditioner. This is a mask. If you have really oily hair, avoid the top and just mask the bottom. Or you can, if like me, I have dry hair, I live in a dry climate, I mask the whole dang thing. I use a lot of product. With long hair, you're gonna spend some money, but I would rather spend the money And, you know, now that I'm not coloring my hair, I'm saving that money and I'm investing in myself with the product in my washing. And I only wash 2 or 3 times a week, so it stretches out the time that I use, or the amount. This little bottle lasts me a lot longer. I also have leave-in oil. I didn't bring it over, but that's okay. You've seen it. Monat has a great version. You can also do your own research and find a leave-in conditioner that I just leave on my ends, again, to protect the ends. I often will put a couple drops of oil, argan oil. Is it called? I can't remember. You know. You've seen it. This special oil for hair. And then I'll put a squirt of conditioner and I'll mix it together and leave it on my ends. And I live in a really dry climate. If you live in a humid climate, that might be just a little much. So you're going to have to figure out what works best for your hair. I think that's it, you guys. I think I covered all of it. Yeah. So if you have any questions or comments, or if you're doing something that's working well for you, and I'm always learning from you as well, so please comment below. Let me know if you've heard of something that's worked and you haven't experienced it yet. I'll check it out. I'll do a little research and get back to you. Yeah, and then post or comment below if you are growing your hair out, and maybe even share a picture. You can find me on fitbodies.com, 2 T's, or you can find me on Instagram, Stephenie Fitt Bodies. Stephenie is spelled with an E, Stephenie, Fitt Bodies with 2 T's. Or you can go to my Facebook page, Fitt Bodies with 2 T's, and just leave a picture and comment. And I just love to see you growing your hair out, people. It's kind of fun. Yeah, so thanks again for all the likes and follows. I love the questions. You have a question about something else, please comment below or leave it on my social media pages, and I will make a video about it and do my best to answer your question. I hope you have an amazing day. Peace out, everybody.